Okay, hello everyone. This is Mr. C of Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Welcome, middle schoolers in high school. It's time for your lesson today. Here we go. Time for the jingle. If you know it, sing along. Time for school, time for music, time to learn together. We can do it. Learning is fun with Mr. C. And learning is fun, everybody. Welcome once again, middle schoolers and high schools. That's right, sixth grade all the way up through 12th grade. Time for your lesson. So let's make sure that we have a couple of things. First of all, the hymnal that we're going to have today, right after we stretch, is going to be called Brethren, We Have Met to Worship. Okay, this is a new hymnal that I've started this week. Okay, and so I would like you guys to go into another Google search engine and type in Brethren, We Have Met to Worship and the word lyrics, and those lyrics should pop up right away. Okay, so again, the title is Brethren, We Have Met to Worship. Okay, type in the word lyrics should pop up right away. But first things first, we're going to get into our stretches, and then we're going to get into our lesson today. We're going to go over how to write the key signatures. That's right, key signatures for our major scales. So what you need to have ready with you is a pencil, a good working pencil with a good eraser, and also your manuscript notebook or manuscript paper that you're able to download off of the Patreon platform. Okay, so download the PDF and just print it out. Okay, and it has the Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy logo on it. Okay, so while you're getting all of that ready, let's get into our stretches, everybody. Here we go. Everybody sit up nice and straight, shoulders relaxed, and reach up into the sky as high as you can. Here we go. Reach, reach, reach. Feel that stretch in the lower back. Okay, and let them drop. And now start rolling the shoulders back. Here we go. Roll those shoulders back, guys. And breathe while you're doing it. Great job, everybody. Now roll them forward. Roll them forward. All right, excellent job, guys. Now everybody rotate the necks in a circle very slow, nice and controlled. Rotate those necks. Great job. Everybody rotate in the other direction. All right, great. Rotating. Here we go. And everybody look all the way up. Look all the way down. All the way to your right. And all the way to your left. And tilt your heads to the right. Tilt your head to the left. And shrug and hold those shoulders. Shrug and hold. And let them drop. Once again, shrug and hold. And let them drop. All right, everybody put your hands in front of you like this and start opening and closing your hands. Just get a little mobility since we're going to do a lot of writing like we've been doing thus far. Okay. Again, have those manuscript notebooks or manuscript paper ready so that we can do this. Okay. And everybody squeeze and hold now. Squeeze and hold. Keep squeezing, keep holding, and shake it out. Shake it out. All right. All right, everyone, take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out through your mouth. Once again, deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay. All right, guys, we are ready to go. So let's get this going. Hopefully you've gotten those lyrics handy. Brethren, we have met to worship. That is the name of the hymnal. This is the hymnal choice that I've been doing all week. This is something that I learned on Sunday and wanted to share with you guys. A wonderful, wonderful hymnal to praise God with. Okay, where we talk about everything that we do together as his people. Okay, if we are called to be his people, if you take a look at the lyrics, brethren, we have met to worship and adore the Lord our God. Will you pray with all your power while we try to preach the word? All is vain unless the Spirit of the Holy One comes down. Brethren, pray, and holy manna will be showered all around. So, okay, so in other words, a lot of this teaches us to pray, to come together, to be of one mind and of one sound mind, I should say, with God. Okay, that's the idea. All right, so let's sing this together. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight, shoulders relaxed. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention that this is a folk hymn. Okay, as you know, the definition of folk has to do with any song that's been passed down from generation to generation without authorship. Okay, without identity of who actually wrote it. And here's a little bit of mystery surrounding. You could look this up. Okay, Brethren, We Have Met to Worship has two different people and groups of people, different groups of people. They identify or attach this particular song to two different authors, okay, which is very weird because one group of people think that George Askins, that's Askins, George Askins wrote this hymn. But not only that, there's another set of group of people that think that a man by the name of George Atkins, Atkins, actually wrote this song. Okay, so there hasn't been any proof, any legal proof, any written proof, documentation to really attribute this particular song to either one of these gentlemen. And by the way, you might be thinking, oh, well, maybe they just got one letter wrong in the last name, Askins as opposed to Atkins. Okay, well, the truth is they are two different people. Okay, they actually attest that George Askins and George Atkins in another part of the world, they were both preachers. Okay, that came up, that supposedly came up with Brethren We Have Met to Worship, but yet again, they still haven't been able to provide proof, okay, as to who actually wrote it. Okay, and because of that, they just identified this particular hymn as a folk hymn. And that's the only reason why, again, they're not claiming authorship to either one, okay, either George Askins or George Atkins. Okay, but if you want more information on that, yeah, you could definitely look it up, okay, online. But here we go, let's get ready to sing. Here we go. I'm going to grab my guitar for this one, guys, and let's sing Brethren We Have Met to Worship. Here we go. Let me just do a little adjustment on the camera. Here we go. Brethren, we have met to worship and adore the Lord our God. Will you pray with all your power while we try to preach the word? All is vain unless the Spirit of the Holy One comes down. Brethren, pray and holy manna will be showered all around. Brethren, see poor sinners round you, slumbering on the brink of woe. Death is coming, hell is moving. Can you bear to let them go? See our fathers and our mothers and our children sinking down. Brethren, pray and holy manna will be showered all around. Sinners, will you join and help us? Moses' sister hated him. Will you help the trembling mourners who are struggling hard with sin? Tell them all about the Savior. Tell them that he will be found. Sisters, pray and holy manna will be showered all around. Let us sweet manna all around. And that was Brethren, we have met to worship. We don't know if it's George Askins or George Atkins, but it is a folk hymn. And guys, I want you guys to give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. Great job. Okay, if you're able to sing along with that, great. If you had a little bit of problems, though, trying to kind of stay with it, okay, you know what you guys can always do. As I've always said before, the great thing about being part of this academy is that you can go right onto the platform. Go right onto your computer and just replay the video and practice with your lyrics handy, okay? All right, guys, great job. And we are going to now go right to the blackboard, our chalkboard, and we're going to start learning about our key signatures, okay? What is that about? Okay, I'm going to make some adjustments on the camera, move some stuff around, and we will get started. All right, just making sure I got a good angle, everybody. Of course, it's not always easy to get a perfect angle, but we try. Okay, everyone, here we go. So take a good look, okay? First of all, we're going to go right into the panel over here. Let's talk about our key signatures, okay? In a key signature, you basically see at the beginning of every song or example, you see a combination, okay, and different placements of sharps and of flats, okay? Now, what is the difference between sharps and flats? Remember, our sharps, okay, really, when they go next to a particular note, they raise it up a half a step, just like we've gone over on our last week's videos about sharps. You put a sharp next to a regular natural note, okay? You put a sharp next to a regular natural note, and what happens is it just goes, it raises it by a half a step, okay? And so I had my production team just put on the light over here. Hopefully, you guys, you can see that a little bit better, okay? So again, sharps take a note by up a half a step, whereas the flats, okay, they look like a little lowercase b. The lowercase b next to a particular note, a flat sign, lowers the note by a half a step, okay? But in this case, you see these again grouped at the beginning of every song. Well, I shouldn't say not every song, okay? Because there is one little exception where you see no sharps or no flats. And whenever you see that, that means that whatever song that we might be doing, it is now is what's called in the key of C. The key signature would be known as the key of C, because in the key of C, all the notes, like on the piano, whenever you see me do the C scale before, it was all white keys, if you guys have noticed. The only time I used the black key is when I was raising the note or lowering a particular note, but all in the C major scale, okay? All of them are white keys, which means they're using only natural notes. So that is the only time that in the beginning of a song, the key signature of a song will be based on the C and the keys on the scale, I should say the major scale of C, okay? Otherwise, any of the other major scales, D, F, B flat, A flat, E flat, okay? Any of those other ones will be using sharps, a combination, not a combination, but just a group of sharps or flats, depending on what scale we're in, okay? So let's take a look right here on the main board, okay? On the main board, I wrote, again, what key signatures are all about. The key signatures, okay? And write all of this down, by the way. This is why I also said I ask you guys to get out your manuscript books and your manuscript paper, okay? You need to write everything down, okay? And we're going to be using our Treble Clef staff for this, okay? But our key signatures, they tell us what scale the song is based on, okay? Just like I've basically been mentioning before, all right? Now, we're going to start off with our sharps. We're going to start off using our sharps. And if you recall our sharps symbols, they look like a pound sign, a hashtag, a number sign, however you guys want to look, a tic-tac-toe, okay? A little mini tic-tac-toe format there. But again, this is what the sharp symbol looks like. Now, when you see sharps in a key signature, they'll usually be like right once you see a treble clef sign, you'll see the sharps or the flats, okay, right over here, and then right after that to follow with, you'll have a meter, okay? But we're not going to worry about meters this time. Again, we're just getting to identify, learn about what key signatures look like, okay? So when it comes to the key signatures, when we use sharps particularly, they'll be placed in certain spots of the staff, which I will show you in a little bit. And with the sharps, the rule is to reading the sharps in a key signature. You are, and write this all down, okay? Take the last or only sharp and go up one step, okay? Go up one step. Last or only sharp and go up one step, all right? So let's go right to that. Here we go. So I'm gonna come over here actually so we can get a better angle and I could write well, okay? So we start off with the first sharp, okay? The first sharp is always going to be placed right here on the top line. Take a good look, okay? That is the first sharp right there. So, and by the way, it's the only, according to, again, this rule when it comes to reading the sharps in a key signature, you got to take the last or only, in this case, the only sharp, and go up one step by reading it, okay? Now, if you take a good look at that sharp right at the top line of the treble clef staff, you'll see that that top line, as we know, has a particular letter name. We can identify it by a particular letter name, okay? So what might that be? Think about the treble clef formula for lines and spaces, right? And when it comes to this sharp, it happens to be on the top line because the line, like any note, the line is crossing that sharp. So because of that, we're going to use our lines formula for this, and the lines formula is every good boy does fine, EGBDF, right? Remember that, okay? If you don't recall that, okay, or if you're watching this for the very first time, make sure you go onto the platform, okay, because you'll have access. All you have to do is look very carefully as to where, for that video. Look very carefully for that video, and you'll be able to find that old video and do that, okay? But let's identify the sharp as far as what line it's on. Every good boy does fine, EGBDF. Take it from the bottom line and recite this with me, everybody. Here we go. Every good boy does fine, and that then tells us that this line is the F line, which means, guess what? Which means that this note is actually an F sharp, okay? It's an F sharp. But now, here's the thing. Does it mean that we're in the key of F sharp? Absolutely not. No, it doesn't mean that. There's still more to this, okay? So remember the rule for sharps. We have to take the last or only sharp and go up one step, okay? So what? This is the only sharp that we have for now, right? This is the only sharp. So from here, we need to go up one step. When we go up one step from this line, we go up a step to the space, right? We go up a step to the space. And what is the note? What is the letter name for the space above the treble staff? What comes, let's think alphabetically. What comes right after F? Of course, G. If you said G, very good. Which means that we are in the key of G. When you see this one on the F line, okay, and it has to be on the F line, by the way, when it comes to the treble clef, it must be on the F line. If you see one sharp on any of the other lines whatsoever, guess what? Then there's been a mistake, okay? In other words, the only time you can have one sharp as the key signature, okay, is when it's located right there on the F line next to the treble clef, okay? It must be written there. It can't be written on the D line or the B line. It can't be written in the space, you know, when it's one sharp. Otherwise, it's wrong, okay? So it must be on that F line, okay? And you go up a step. You are then identifying that space as a G, which means that whatever song that you're playing or singing in, okay, when the sharp is on the F line, making it an F sharp, that means you are in the key of G, okay? And of course, that means that in the key of G, which tells us even furthermore, in the key of G, all the notes are natural except for one note. And what note is that? The F sharp. Okay? So please make sure you have this down, okay? On your manuscript book, on your manuscript paper, make sure you've written the sharp right there on the F line next to the treble clef, okay? And go up a step, and you'll find yourself in G, okay? Everybody got that? Great job. Okay. So now, that's just the first sharp, okay? That's just one sharp, okay? Always located on the F line. If we were to then now do another key signature where we have two sharps. Now we got to do it in two sharps, right? So watch this, everyone. Here's the first sharp, okay? Again, located on the F line, okay? Which makes it an F sharp. But guess what? Now what we do is we go from here. Count from the line that it's on. Count down, let me see. We count down 4 steps. 4 steps across diagonally. Okay, we got to go a little bit diagonally. Going, in other words, why? Because everything that we read in music or just in general, anytime we read, we actually read in the directional from left to right. Okay, so we go down 4 steps by going 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll end up on the space. Okay, there it is. The sharp is on an angular directional from the left of the F to the right, down 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And right there, once we have that sharp right there, okay, now we have to figure out what the letter name is. What is the letter name to that sharp, okay? Well, it's in the space, right? Space's formula for treble clef is, you got it, face. So we spell the word face starting from the bottom space. We go F-A-C, and there we have a C sharp, okay? But does that mean we're in the key of C sharp? Not a chance, okay? Because we still have to do one more thing, which is what? We have to then take according to the rule, take the last or only sharp and go up again 1 step. In this case, this is known as the last sharp, okay? Before we had the F sharp, which is the only sharp in the key signature, okay? Now we have 2, and this is the last one because, and why is it considered the last one? Why is an F sharp considered the last one? Well, not just because I wrote it first over here in the first example, but because it's actually the furthest to the left. So when we go, the further right that we go, right? That is then the last sharp, okay? So C sharp is the last sharp. When we go up a step, from C sharp, guess what we got? We have this note right here, which, well, you wouldn't necessarily put a note like I've been doing. This is just to locate where we are, okay? But we go up a step from C sharp, or, you know, thinking about the alphabet, the letter C, we go up a step and we find ourselves using the D line. So that note is D. And so that means we're in the key of D. Okay? We're in the key of D. So that means also that in the key of D major, I should say D major, not just G major. We have G major here. This is D major. By the way, we're working using major key signatures. Okay? Okay, that's what we're doing there. Okay, so we're using major key signatures, major, not minor, but major, which I will show you about the minor scales on another class. Okay, but here in the key of D major here, because we went up 1 step from the last sharp, which is C sharp, up a step to D. So that means in the key of D major. And why is it not D sharp, or why wasn't the last one G sharp? Well, because in the key signature there are no sharps except for F sharp, and then in the key of D major, there are no sharps except for what? C sharp and F sharp on that top line. Okay, so in the key of D major, F is sharp and so is C sharp. Okay, all the other notes, all the other letter name notes are regular natural notes. Okay, so that's how that works. Everybody see that? Give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. All right, so now from there, we're going to go over to the next key signature. Here we go. All right, we start off with the F sharp, which we know. We angle down 4 steps to the C sharp, okay, which we've already done. But now what? We got to go for a 3rd sharp, right? So if we go, let's count up the steps we have to go. 1 from the space, 1. Line is 2, space is 3. line is 4, and space is 5, okay? So I'm going to put a sharp on the top space above our treble clef staff, okay? So now we have 3 sharps, okay? Notice how the last sharp, that last sharp over there, and this is the last sharp because it's furthest to the right. Notice how I angled it off from the C sharp, angled it off up there to the right, to further to the right, okay? So the further right we go, the more we'll be able to find that sharp, the last sharp there, okay? So we have, what is the letter name of that? Okay, well, again, we have our F sharp, we have our C sharp, and lastly, we have our what note? That is our G sharp. How do we know that? Because look, from the F sharp, F line, we go up a step, and that is our G, like we did in the first example, okay? But now that means that we have a G sharp. Okay, that is our G sharp, okay, right over here, okay? That's our G sharp. Now, guess what? That doesn't mean we're in the key of G sharp though, right? Because we still have our rule to consider. Take the last, in this case, the last, not the only, but the last sharp, and go up 1 step. So our last sharp is G sharp. If we go up 1 step, right? We go up 1 step from G. What is that letter name? What is that letter name in the line above the treble clef staff? We're going up 1 step to the line, right? To our what? What letter name is that? That is going to be our, I'm gonna write it down here, our A. Okay? That doesn't mean this is an F space, by the way, but okay, but again, that's our A note right over here. I'm gonna point an arrow to that whole note that I drew right there on the ledger line. That is our A note. Okay? Which means what? We're in the key of A. Now we're in the key of A. Okay? We're in the key of A. And in the key of A, we have a G sharp, a C sharp, and an F sharp. Those three, only those 3 notes are sharps, where all of the others, again, are natural notes. Okay? So we know we have an F sharp, C sharp, and a G sharp in the key of A. All right? Got that, guys? Okay, let's move right along. Next example, 4 sharps, which are placed strategically, as you've been seeing. Placed strategically, I can't speak. Being placed strategically from the left to the right. Okay, so we have, let's review. We have our F sharp. We have our angled off down 4 steps to our C sharp. Okay, then up 5 steps to our G sharp, okay, and now we're going to go down 4 steps. Count with me from the space above. 1, 2, line is 2, 3 is the space, 4 is that line right there, and we have our 4th sharp right there, okay? Our 4th sharp happens to be, and it's the last one. Notice again how I'm angling it off further to the right, but down 4 steps, but to the right more, making this sharp the last sharp of the group, okay? What is that last sharp? What is the identity, that letter name of the last sharp? Well, Line's formula, everybody, because it's on the line. Every good boy does fine, right? Everybody recite it with me. Every good boy does. That means this is a D sharp. Okay? But when we look at the D sharp, right, we still have to go by our rule. Take the only, in this case, sharp, and go up 1 step. Okay, go up 1 step. Okay, when we go up 1 step from the D, we go right over here to our, just kind of making a little note there. And that from D, what comes right after D going up 1 step? That is our E. And so therefore, we're in the key of E. Okay, guys? Can we see that? I'm just making sure. Yes. Okay, so we are in the key of E. And in the key of E, F is sharp, C is sharp, G is sharp, and so is D. D is sharp. Okay, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp are in the key of E. However, all the other notes, like B, right? Like B, like A, okay? What else? Like B, A, B, A, E, letter E, okay? Of course, because there's no sharps on the E notes, okay? On any of the E notes, okay? All of those other notes, okay, are regular natural notes, except for F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. Okay? All right, moving on, everybody. Here we go. Going over to the next one. All right, we have F sharp, down 4 steps, C sharp, up 5 steps, G sharp, down 4 steps, D sharp, and we're going to go down even further this time. Down, let me see, 1, 2, 3, down 4 more steps. Okay, we're going to go down 4 steps. So we went down 4 steps to our C sharp, up 5 steps to our G sharp, down 4 steps to our D sharp, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4 more steps to our what letter? What letter is that? Well, it's in the space. Face. Everybody say that. Face. We're going to spell face. Okay, starting with the bottom space. F-A. That means this is an A sharp. Okay, that's our A sharp. But our rule is take the last sharp, go up 1 step. We go up 1 step from A. After A comes what? That is our B. Okay, therefore we are in the key of what? In the key of B. And in the key of B, A is sharp, C is sharp, D is sharp, G is sharp, and of course, F is sharp. We have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp in the key of B. All right, guys? Everybody got that? That is our key signatures. And again, look at how they're purposely placed, okay? From the left, down 4 steps to the right, up 5 steps to the right. Go right more, angle off to the right some more, and go down 4 steps. And then down another 4 steps to the right, and you end up on A, okay? That's the idea, okay? That is how we figure out our letter names, okay? I should say where to place the sharps, okay? Now, here we go. We have, that was 5 sharps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? We got to go for 6 sharps now. Here we go. Take a look. F sharp. Write this down too. Make sure you're copying all of this. C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, okay, A sharp, okay. Now we're going to go up 5 with me. 1 from the space, line is 2, space is 3, line is 4, space is 5. Okay, so there we have, we're on the 6th sharp. Okay, the 6th sharp in this key signature here. This key signature has 6 sharps strategically placed, okay, in certain spots. Okay, and this being the last sharp, okay, we have to go up 1 step. But first, what is the letter name to that sharp? That letter name there, okay, it's in another space, right? So we use our space formula. Everybody say it with me. Spaces, spell face. F-A-C-E. That is our space for, that is our letter E sharp. Oops, excuse me. Okay, E sharp. Okay. You know what? I could write this a little better. Gotta require my eraser. There we go. Okay, so there we have, what did I say? That's our E sharp, yes? Okay, that is our E sharp. That identifies as the E sharp, okay? But what does that mean? We still have to take this sharp, the last sharp, go again up 1 step, go up 1 step. When we go up a step from E sharp, we find ourselves right here, which is our what? F sharp. Why do we say that this is F sharp and not regular F? Because in the key signature, in this key signature, we have a sharp on the F, right? That means we're really looking at F sharp. We're looking at F sharp, okay? That means we are in the key F sharp. Actually, I'm going to write it over here. We're going to be in the key of F sharp. And in the key of F sharp, of course, F is sharp, C is sharp, G is sharp, D is sharp, A is sharp, E is sharp, okay? Meanwhile, any other notes? Okay, like for instance, any of the other notes, like for instance, the B is plain old natural B. In fact, that's the only note in the whole scale. That's the only note that is not sharp, is the B, because there is no sharp on that B line. You see the B line over here? Every good boy, that B line has no sharp on the key signature, in the key signature whatsoever. Everything else is sharp, okay? From A, C, D, E, F, G, all of those are sharp except for B. Well, guess what? Now we have one more key signature. One more key signature. Take a look, everybody. Here we go. The last one for sharps. F sharp, D sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, and last but not least, count with me. 1, line is 2. Sorry, space is 1, line is 2, space is 3, line is 4. We go down 4 steps, and now last sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th sharp to the right more. Okay, angled off to the right. I probably didn't do a very good job on this. Let me just erase that. It seems like actually it's not angled up enough. So I'm going to rewrite that, everybody. Okay, and I'm going to write it closer to the right more, and now it's angled off better from the E sharp, counting down 4 steps to the B. That is right. I already gave away the answer. How do we know that's a B, right? Every good boy, okay, because it's on that B on that third line, making it a boy, okay? That is a B sharp, okay? That is a B sharp, but take the B sharp. According to the rule, last sharp, go up 1 step, okay? Up 1 step, you go up a step to B sharp, you end up in the space right over here in the space, which is what? What it comes right after B? C, not just B, not just regular B sharp, and there's a sharp in this space, C sharp. We are now in the key of C sharp. Why again is it the key of C sharp? Because there is a sharp on that C space. In fact, if we were going by the spaces formula again, we go F, A, C. Okay, we went up a step to C, and therefore it's a C sharp because of the sharp in the key signature on the C space. Therefore, we are in the key of C sharp. And guess what? In these 7 sharps, in the key of C sharp, guess what? That means all of the notes are sharp. Every single one of them. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C sharp. Okay, all of them are sharp. In the key of C sharp, all the notes are sharp. Everybody understand that? Give me a thumbs up, please. All right. Great job, everybody. Everything is sharp. Okay, so that is how we write the key signatures in the sharp, using the sharps. Okay, so it appears that our time is up, guys. All right. I want you to make sure that you are, again, following how they are placed. Okay, you always start off with the F sharp. Okay, F sharp as the first and only. Okay, in the key of G, right? If you got 2 sharps from F sharp to C sharp, you are then in the key of D. 3 sharps, it's F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, which means you're in the key of A. Okay. If you're using 4 sharps, it's F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, which means you're in the key of E. Okay? If you are using 5 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, you are then in the key of B, B major. Okay? All of them are major key signatures. Okay? Now, if you are using 6 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, you are then in the key of F sharp major, okay? F sharp major. And last but not least, if you are using 7 sharps, okay? F sharp, F sharp, I can't speak. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp, B sharp, you are in the key of C sharp major, okay? Make sure you have all of this down, everybody. Make sure. If you don't, you can always go right back to the video again and copy, okay? That is your advantage, okay? This is not a one-shot class. Once I do it, it's there. It's always there on our platform, okay? Great job, Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy students. Great job on this, okay? Next time, we are going to go over how to organize and use flats, the flat symbols, to then tell what key we are in major scale wise, okay? Using flat symbols, okay? Where, as you can see, I wrote, take a look at the rule for the flats. It's different from the sharps. It's you take the last or only flat now and go down 4 steps. Okay, we're definitely going to see how that works. Great job once again. Give yourselves a nice little round of applause and a pat on the back. Okay, great job, everybody. Okay, make sure you have all this down. And I want to thank all of you Academy members, as well as my friends around the world who watch and support Mr. C's Homeschool Music Academy. Thank you very much for coming on and continuing to support music education. And as always, my friends, I wish you happy practicing. Everyone, take care and have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.